Hey, welcome back friends and new friends to the patio. Kind of make this quick and getting closer. Cicadas are out. It's daytime, that's what they are. Nighttime it's katydids and crickets. This noise is constant around here in the summer. I apologize, I'll try to keep it down on the audio mix. We're talking about Prune Indeterminate tomatoes, specifically Cherokee purples. Let's watch this video over here off on the left shoulder and then come back to the patio for discussion and comments. Okay, so here's what the Cherokee purples look like this year. 3 plants. The stakes run anywhere from about 6 foot to 6.5. I have extension rods on there, and you can see we've pruned them quite a bit. Lots of airflow, which is what we want in our area because it's hot and humid, so that mitigates disease. Also, it's easier to spot pests, particularly hornworms, if you don't have all that foliage to deal with. And as the saying goes, you're growing tomatoes, not leaves. If you look at the bottom, on the left there is still sweet alyssum in play. And on the right, the mulch path there, up until 2 weeks ago, late June, that was full of dill. And they both mitigate a lot of pests, insects, including aphids. All we've seen this year is a small group of scale insects and then a small group of whiteflies. And we handled both with a bonide organic spray that basically smothers them. We've not seen any aphids. So I don't know if that's the sweet alyssum and dill or if aphids just aren't around this year. It's hard to tell, just in one incident. Now if you look at the back there, you can see a cluster, and you see a snapped branch. 2 things. One, part of that's my fault. I should have tried to tie that up better, or at least put some support under it like I did with this one, but I did not. But the other factor is there were 4 days in June where we received a month's worth of rain in 4 days. In June around here we get a little over 4 inches, and we got over 4 inches in 4 days. So the tomatoes sucked up all that water and got really big really quick. Same thing happened to our pasting tomatoes, by the way. So that's how we did it this year. I'll talk more about it on the patio. Okay, so we pruned them that way to get the airflow that cuts down on disease, particularly fungal diseases, and also makes it easier to control your insects, particularly hornworms, but also aphids. It's, not so much to check. Something I said in there indirectly, your plant's only making so much food, okay? And so the more branches you take off, the more food is going to get to the fruit, which of course will make it bigger, which is what you're shooting for. That and water will make it bigger. And then something I didn't say at all, if you're new to tomatoes, you want to prune at least a foot. Some say up to 2 feet, but at least a foot if you have mulch down, and that will keep stuff from splashing out of the ground and turning those bottom leaves yellow and creating disease and all that kind of stuff. Okay, sorry to interrupt myself here, but I went ahead and cut the broken branch off, separated the tomatoes from the stems, and we are going to place it in this bag. And there you go, paper bag, probably fold it over, and then stick it in the garage so there's some heat, and hopefully these will ripen up in about 10 days. The one on the right, of course, is definitely going to ripen up. And a little note, the clippers there, pruners, were cleaned, hot water, antibacterial dishwater soap, and some peroxide. I guess maybe 2 minutes on that, rinsed off, and then dried off. Because when you're cutting any time, you really want clean pruners, but especially when you already have some scarring and open wounds, you don't want to introduce, and that's what we're talking about, look the same way, stripped off from the main stem. So I'm trying not to introduce any bacterial infection into the plant, because there are a lot more fruits to get. Now we have grown them jungle style, where you don't mess with any of the suckers, just get a wall. You get a lot of disease, a lot of fungus. You do get a lot of fruit, but it's just a messy mess. It's fun to do every once in a while. We haven't done that in, I don't know, 7, 8 years by now. But anyway, we've grown them all types of styles. Some people will take all of the indeterminates off, all of the suckers off of indeterminates. We don't do that. We take most of them off. But you should, because they can get a lot of fruit and snap, just like the one there on the branch. That's not a sucker. That was part of the main stem. Just got too much water and too heavy. On a determinate, of course, you don't want to take the suckers off, because it's just going to set fruit and be done. So the more you take off, the less fruit you're going to get. So anyway, drop your comments down there. Tell me how you do what you do. And sorry about the cicada bids. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. We'll see y'all on the next one.